Hello, Keith here with Math Fun and Games. We're playing MBT from GMT, Scenario 2. I cut down on the rules that we're using. I put a link to the rules that we're using down below, where I highlighted the rules that we're using in the table of contents. Pretty much I removed the anti-tank guided missiles. We begin with the spotting phase. And let's see who was spotted. Okay. I'm going to start on the far left. So these units, oops, I don't think they're spotted by anybody. Let's take a look. How about from here? Let's see. It's right there. Okay, so they are spotted. And likewise, that first vehicle is spotted. I don't think the second vehicle is spotted. Oops. And the second vehicle is spotted. How about the third vehicle? And the third vehicle is not spotted. So the first two vehicles are spotted over there. The third vehicle is not spotted. How about him? Can this guy spot that third vehicle? Yep. Okay, so all those three vehicles are spotted. And next, so those three vehicles are spotted. These vehicles are spotted. These vehicles back here are not spotted. I'm certain of that. Unless they're spotted by the unit on the hill. Let's take a look. Back a bit. And go to line of sight. Check. All right, nope. All those vehicles will be blocked by those trees right there. How about that other hex next to it? So all I'm doing right now is just seeing who is spotted. So none of those vehicles right here are spotted. Let's zoom in. Zoom out a little bit. There we go. Okay, how about these units on the hill? Those units on the hill spotted. Let's check. Right here. No to those three. No to those two because of that level 4 woods. No to them. How about over here? All right. So those units are spotted. How about that unit right there? Okay, so those units on a hill are spotted by them. So those two, this unit behind the hill won't be spotted because they're on a slope, but it's not a continual slope hex. So two units on the hill. How about these guys right here? I believe they're all spotted and vice versa. Spotted, spotted. Yep. So those are all spotted. So that vehicle right there is in very good position. So the only Russian units that aren't spotted are those right there. Okay. So my two units on a hill, or well, the NATO two units on a hill. And let's see if there's any chance of them being spotted. All right, they're spotted by that last vehicle. I believe that's the only unit that has them spotted. Yep. Okay, how about the next vehicle over? And they're also spotted by, so the next vehicle over is also spotted. So those 2 units are spotted by just by that one vehicle right there. I think that's it about those 2 units. Second one might not be. Okay. Go to this one. Yep. So they'll both be spotted. Okay, so the only units that aren't spotted are going to be the units I'm going to circle. They're going to be these units. Oops. Turn off spotting. So those units are not spotted. And that unit behind the hill is not spotted. Everybody else is spotted. Now for the command phase. So how many American NATO forces we have? Oh, yeah, and that unit right there won't be spotted. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we have 18 vehicles. B. Let's see how many commands they get. Available commands, 18 vehicles, 5 and 6, so Americans have 11. Yeah, that's right. We already determined the Americans have 11, and the Russians have 10. Okay. I believe that once these units unload, I believe you're going to get more commands because they're considered separate units. So the Americans have 11 commands. Okay, so how many groups do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's really not a lot of pressure on the Americans right now. Did I say these 2 units have targets? I believe I did. They're spotted by somebody, which means there's somebody that they can fire at and gang up on. So I might give them a fire command. A quick check. There. Yep. Let me just run it back. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give those units in that hex a fire command. And the units in the next hex over, I'm going to give a move command. These 2 units. Those 2 units have shots, but it's at very long range. Still, I'm just going to give the Americans a lot of fire commands. Give those 2 fire commands. Delete that. Let's see. I don't want snap to X. There we go. So I want these 2 to have a fire to share fire command. Okay. I'm going to move these as 2 different groups. 2 groups of 3. So this is going to be a group of 3, and this is going to be a group of 3. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different commands. Five. Six, 7, 8, so a little mixture of a little of everything for the NATO forces. Now for the Russian Soviet forces. I know that this group is going to have a move command. So this group's they're gonna have a move command definitely, and they're gonna move into the city at this turn. I'm gonna give all these Soviets over here move commands. And they're going to continue on the road path. So they're going to have the road path movement, right? Okay. And this unit's going to have a fire command. And then I'm going to give a move command to them. And move command to them. And I believe that's it. Okay, everybody's accounted for the Soviets and the Americans. Everybody has a command. Yep. Okay, next turn. So now we're going to roll for initiative. And I'm going to have the NATO, we'll roll for the NATO forces first. NATO gets 17, Soviets get 43, so Soviets fire first. So who for the Soviets has a fire command? I believe there's only one unit has a fire command, and it's this unit right here. So who can they fire at? I believe the only one they can fire at is, they might not even be able to fire at them. No, they don't have a shot actually. I think this is the only one they can fire at. Nope, this is blocked by the trees. So unless they can fire, the reason is this, there's contiguous slope hexes down there. So if you look right here, see where that crosses 2 consecutive hexes at the same level? So let's pull back and see if they have a different target. How about them? That's close. Let's take a look. That's really close. I'll zoom in some more. And some more. Okay, I'm going to say that that misses. Just, I'm going to look at it, and that does. So they do have line of sight. It misses that ridge. So if you look, yep, misses the ridge. So they do have a shot. Okay, so let's move in. So the shot is going to be from here. Oops. From there over to that unit. So it's a range of 22. It's long range. T-72AB. Long range, and there are no modifiers. Well, there's a target size modifier. So it's a +1 modifier. Long range +1 modifier. 72 AV. 22, it is long range. Penetration factor will be a 73 if it hits. Go over here. Long range with +1 modifier, they need a 33 to hit. They get a 47, so they missed. And that unit right there, I'm going to mark it as having been fired. Spot fire. So what spot fire does is if you use the menu in this particular module, see that red dot? That's a spot fire. So that means it's spotted because it's fired. And I think it, okay, so next, so that's the only fire that the Soviets have. Now we have the NATO forces. Okay, so who does the NATO, can the NATO forces shoot at? Do the NATO forces have a target over here? Okay. Hoping that this is a shot. Let's see if that has a shot. Yep. Actually has a shot, both of those. So it's going to fire at that hex right there, at that vehicle. So the range is going to be 10. It's going to be 10 straight. No, well, there's a move. The target's moving, so 10 straight with a moving target. Okay. That's going to be short range. And target moving. Yeah, target moving -2. Short range -2, so I need 56. Oh, and just barely get it, but it got it. 56 exactly. All right, so first we check the penetration factor. Well, it's going to fire through the front side facing. So we have to see where it hits. So we will check on the 5, front side 5. It's hull front. So it's a hull front. Oh, okay. So hull front armor is a 93. It's level shot, so it's 93. Short range, 96 is greater than 93, so we do have penetration. Now we look at the 6, because we got 56, and it's going to be knocked out. So already we get a knockout. And that is knocked out. KO'd. And this right here, I can remove the fire marker. Replace this right here with spot fire. Turns on the red dot. Next, this unit right here. Really long shot. Really, really long shot. But I'm going to take it. So a range of 20. And it doesn't look like there's any modifiers. I'll have to check the target size for those vehicles. BTR 70. 20 medium range. No size modifier. But the only modifier will be moving. So it's going to be medium range -2 because the target is moving. And you have 40 to hit. 1! Oh, okay, that hit. So the first number is going to be a 10. So the 10 is always going to be a track hit. So that is a track hit. No question. I have a question. Oh, because 11 would be the deck hit, so that's a track hit. A 0 be considered a 0. So track hit's automatic, so one of these gets a track hit. All right. Now I have to check for bailout. This is new. All right. So first I have to check bail for first I check the bailout for the crew. This right here is a new procedure. So we go to chart A, and then we look on the bailout chart. Oh, close assault weapons site. GP modifiers. Bailout. Okay, so it's track hit on the crew. So a 30 or less and the crew bails out. So the crew bails out. So since the crew bails out, the passengers also automatically bail out. So that gets switched to a bailout. Right there. So right click. Click on the unit itself, right click. Gotta remove the track hit, place it with the bailout. Right click, bail out. Right. So they bailed out. So that vehicle's just basically sitting there for the rest of the scenario. These units are going to be outside the track and they're going to be suppressed. So I have to mark them in a suppressed state. And there we go. So suppression is on. So that's what I have over there. Okay. Kind of looks funny. I'm actually going to put, because there's so many units there, I might actually move those units just to clarify and not have confusion. So it'll be this one right here. Right there. They're going to be in the same hex over there. So, okay. I'll pause for that. All right, so I just did my firing, and I made a mistake. I actually paused it and didn't continue it. So those two units on a hill fired against them. They didn't get any hits. And then this unit right here fired against them and didn't get any hits. And those two units fired and didn't get any hits. So I'm going to remove this marker. Delete. Spot fire, and those two units on a hill are going to have the spot fire. And I remove the fire marker. Fire. Yeah, let's bring those tanks back. Clone one of these. Okay, one. What did I get there? All right, clone one more. Excellent. Okay. And I have to mark those as spot fire. Oop. Right click, spot fire. All right. So I believe that's it for the fire phase. All right. And I don't know if I actually got it, but I don't know if it's paused or not when I actually did this shot. But this unit right here shot against the top vehicle over here. Got a track hit. The crew bailed out. And since the crew bailed out, the passengers have to bail out with suppression on. So they're suppressed. So I put their marker right next to the stack just to make it clear. Actually, let me see if I can move that to the top of the stack. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, good. Okay, because you gotta make that clear. All right, once the crew bails out, that tank is out of the game, and the crew is out of the game. So now we go on to the movement phase. Because the Soviets fired first, the Americans are going to move first. And who moves and who doesn't move? So the Russians didn't have anybody in Overwatch. These units have a move command. You're going to go move that. They're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because they're going through brush. So it's count of 2. And there you get the automatically get the green dot indicating movement. Okay, next we have 2 groups over here. So this first group all shares the same command. So they're going to go forward 5. Well, the tank can go 5. The M113 can go 6. So let's move these forward. So right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's not much more I can do because they have to stay within 1 hex of each other. I mean, with that 6 move, I could move that unit up to there. But I don't want to. I want to keep them separated. So this unit right here is going to move 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they're going to stop. And I think they're automatically they get the green circle. All right, so how about we have 2 units over here. They're at the short halt. So they have 5. They can either move 2 or they can move 5 over cross country 2 or forward 5. So they're going to move the cross country 2. Left 1, right 2. And this unit's going to do the same thing, but he's going to go right there. Delete. And last but not least, I have these 2 units over here. How do I want them to move? That's the question. 1, 2, 3. Here's what I'm going to do. 1, 2. No. Yeah. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and that unit's going to go 1 for free. 1, 2, 3. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5. Those units have to stay within 1 hex of each other. And we're done. And delete. Do I have another marker there? Okay, I just accidentally stole the victory point marker for that right there. All right, there we go. So that's it for the NATO phase. So now we have the Soviet phase. Let's see now. So I have those 3 NATO vehicles. I mean, there's 3 Soviet vehicles. So first things first, I'm going to move. I'm going to wait to move them. I'm going to move these guys right here. All right, so let's separate these. So this crew. And this vehicle. Let's move. All right, so is that a road? First of all, no, that's not a road, so they won't get movement rates. So they're going to get a maximum of 7. So 1, and I got to make sure I get everybody. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, turn, 4, 5. Now it costs half a vehicle's movement points to unload, so I don't believe that unit can unload. How about the next unit? Again, 7 movement points. 1, 2, they're considered an alley. 3, 4. So I can only move 3. 1, 2, 3. So the next vehicle I'm going to move right there. And it's going to be this unit. Oops. The reason being is, I'm going to zoom in. Reason being is I want to unload these, and it costs half your movement points to unload. 1, 2, 3, and then unload. Because he's not suppressed, he can unload in his own hex or any adjacent hex, so he can unload right there. And I'm going to do the same thing with, I have one more unit. They're going to go right there, stop, and they're going to unload right there. And they're suppressed. They're already considered moved when they bailed out. Okay, excellent. Now we have some more Russian movement over here. So these units, I got 4 of them right there. And the overland movement is 7. So let's do it. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check for a rough. So we're headed into that rocky area, that rough patch. So how much does it cost to attract the vehicle to enter into that rough patch? Let's see. Bridge, block, stone, building, wood, stitch, gully. So that would be rough. Yeah, rough. It was rough. All right. So it's going to cost 4 to enter the rough. So it's going to be 1, 2. 2 plus 5 is 7, and they'll have to stop. The bog check is actually an optional rule, so I don't have to do bog check. Delete these units right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and stop. Now this unit, 1, 2, 3, I'm moving as a group. Turn left, 4. Return, turn 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right there. And again, because they're using the road path movement rate, see 9, so they're going to be limited. The first is the road path movement rate. You have to use the path rate. This unit right here is going to follow right along. I don't know why. Let's pivot. There we go. This unit right here is going to be behind. It's going to pivot. Oops, wrong way. Pivot counterclockwise. Check something about this. All right, so I'm going to have to move these back. And so they're only going to have 7 now, because this wreck, basically, this unit right here is going to cannot use the road movement rate. So that means that since they're moving as a group, and they're moving as a group because they can't use the road movement rate, they're going to have to use their cross-country rate. So that one started right there. It was facing the left. So return 1, 2, 3, 4. Return 5. Return 6, 7. That is where these units. So this unit's actually going to get caught up to this unit because of the turn. This unit is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Thing is, he has to keep up with these. Well, because of the wreck, he doesn't have to. Yeah, because of the wreck, he doesn't have to maintain the distance at the end of the turn. All right, so there's delete, and I believe that's it. Let's pull back this turn. All right, excellent. So that's it for the now the for turn 2. So this unit right here, this infantry unit, so because it has a suppression, right, it has a suppression on marker. So I got to flip that. I got to rotate it to off. Right. And the next turn at the end of the remove markers, that will be eliminated. Right now it's still considered suppressed. All right, so that's it for this turn. Thank you very much for watching. I apologize for the brief moments I accidentally shut off. I paused it and I had to return it. I was firing over there. And I want everybody to have a good day. Bye-bye.